Former Oklahoma Senator, Convention of State Senior Advisor, Tom Coburn with us now. Senator, this is, as if it's a Fox alert, out of control, isn't it?
It is, both the government debt, but also total debt. If you look at total debt in our country, pension debt, city debt, state debt, corporate debt, personal debt, school loan debt, and government debt, we're at 300% of GDP.
Incredible. Now, we keep ignoring that or putting off the tough decisions. I know when you were serving in Washington, one of the things is with very minor adjustments for example, with title and elsewhere, there are ways at least to slowing the growth of this. But even that, both parties have proven very reluctant to do. What gives?
Well, interesting, Neil. Joe Lieberman and I created modifications for both Social Security and Medicare that were fairly painless, except for those very well-to-do in our country, that would have extended the life of both those about 25 to 30 years. And neither McConnell nor Harry Reid would hear for us to bring that to the floor.
Now, I guess their concern was not to give them, a pass here, but even when you talk about minor adjustments, it's generally vilified. You're throwing Granny off a cliff, or you're forcing, older folks to live on dog food, and the debate ends, right?
Well, here's the thing. Americans, $22 trillion doesn't mean anything to them because nobody knows what a trillion is. But here's what's going to happen, and it's happened through 800 years of economic history. We're either going to have hyperinflation or a marked decrease in valuation of the dollar. Either way, we all lose. Either way.
Yeah. So, but people say it hasn't happened. They keep saying we've heard that. We've heard that.
Well, it hasn't. Yeah. That's right. They'll continue to do it. But all you have to do is look around the world. And the reason it hadn't happened here is we're the reserve currency. But as soon as there's another reserve currency, and that's coming because we're not responsible, what will happen is hyperinflation or marked devaluation of your assets. So the only thing that's going to be of value is hard assets in our country. And so you can say nobody knows when that's going to happen, but economic history, 800 years of economic history tells us it will. So the question is should Washington be responsible enough and lose elections by doing the right thing, or should they continue to be the career politicians that they are so they can maintain their position and our children and grandchildren go through the floor? And that's why I left. Yeah. That's why I'm working on Convention of States, because it's the only real answer to solve this problem is when the people decide that we need to start controlling our future and not just kicking the can down the road.
Real quickly on trade, what do you think of how this is escalating, the back and forth?
I think it's going to get settled. Trump isn't stupid, but he's a pretty hard bargainer. And they all know that this isn't good for anybody, for China, America, or the rest of the world. So I think we'll get somewhere between what Trump wants and what China wants, and it'll get settled out. And then it'll create a pattern for the rest of the world, because we shouldn't be supplying the rest of the world with our wealth.
So you think this will be settled and cooler heads prevail?
Absolutely.
Oh.
The question facing us and facing our fellow countrymen is a two-word question. Very simply, who decides? The American founders had a simple answer. We, the people, decide.